Imagine signing up to fight a war. You were promised 3 months. It turned into 3 years. No food, no working equipment, no way out. He's a convicted criminal, pulled from prison, handed a rifle. This is happening right now inside the army of a nuclear superpower, a number that changes everything. And by the end of this video, I will show you one verified number that mainstream media is not reporting. A number that changes everything. Stay with me. I'm your host. This is the military show Redline USA. Let's get into it. The BBC and Russian independent outlet Media Zona have now verified over 160,000 Russian soldiers killed in Ukraine. 160,000 confirmed by name from death certificates and obituaries. And analysts say the real number could be 2 to 3 times higher. But here's what's even more alarming. Russia signed 422,000 new military contracts in 2025. Sounds like a lot, right? That's actually a 6% drop from 2024. Russia is recruiting less soldiers while losing more every single day. According to Ukraine's military intelligence, Russia is now losing more men per month than it can possibly replace. The math is simple. Russia is bleeding out. And the soldiers on the front line, they know it. So why are trained soldiers abandoning their posts? Let me tell you what Russian soldiers themselves are saying. North Korean soldiers, captured by Ukraine in early 2026, gave interrogation statements that shocked NATO officials. They said they were told they were going to Russia for training. They had no idea they were being sent to a war zone. They didn't even know where Ukraine was on a map. That is the desperation level we are talking about. But Russian soldiers? They know exactly where they are, and they are still running because the conditions are unlivable. Soldiers posted in Zaporizhzhia reported in leaked communications, no food rotations for days, equipment so old it breaks mid-battle, officers who physically beat soldiers for minor violations. One leaked report confirmed soldiers were buried up to their necks in the ground for hours as punishment for being late from leave. They signed up for money, for a 3-month contract. But Russia changed the rules mid-war. No rotation, no exit, no going home. And when they tried to leave, Putin had a plan for that too. Wait, stop everything. Did you know Russian soldiers have been stealing military vehicles to escape? Ukrainian intelligence confirmed over 30 verified cases. Soldiers deserting with weapons, with armored vehicles. One soldier didn't just walk away from Putin's war, he drove away in a tank. Let that image sit with you for a second. Now, Putin knows this crisis is real. His response? Fear. Desertion penalties raised to 10 years in prison. A new law making surrender a criminal offense, carrying up to 16 years in jail. So-called barrier troops positioned behind the front lines, with orders to shoot retreating soldiers. Stalin did this exact same thing in World War II. Order 227. Not one step back. It worked then, barely. But this is 2026. Soldiers have smartphones. They have seen the casualty lists. Why, they have seen the coffins arriving back home. And according to the Institute for the Study of War, one of Washington's most trusted defense think tanks, even with these punishments, desertion cases are at their highest point since the invasion began. The fear system is cracking, and the soldiers know they have options, which brings me to something the mainstream media is almost completely ignoring. Stick with me. Because in about 3 minutes, I'm going to show you something involving women that will completely change how you see this war. Keep watching. And if this is the kind of reporting mainstream media won't give you, hit that subscribe button right now. At the Redline USA, we go deeper. Let's continue. Here it is. Russia, the country that banned women from frontline combat, is now recruiting women for assault units. The Institute for the Study of War confirmed it. The Kremlin-linked private military group Redut began running social media ads targeting Russian women, offering sniper and drone operator positions. One unit, called Espanola, openly admitted it was hiring women for assault detachments.
Assault detachments. These are the most dangerous frontline roles in the war. And Russia is sending women because it has run out of men. But it gets even more desperate than that. Russia's defense factories, which need 400,000 more workers, are now importing women from Central and West Africa to work inside weapons production facilities. Foreign women making Russian bombs.
To replace Russian men who are either dead, deployed, or running away. This is not the military of a country that is winning. This is the military of a country that is scrambling. And Russia did not stop there. Let's talk about North Korea. US intelligence, South Korean intelligence, NATO, all confirmed the same thing. North Korean soldiers, thousands of them, are now fighting on Ukrainian soil. This is not a rumor. This is not propaganda. These soldiers have been captured. They have been interrogated. Their statements have been verified. Russia, a nuclear superpower, is importing soldiers from one of the world's poorest countries to fight its war. Think about what that tells you about Putin's position. He cannot fully mobilize his own peoples. And then, because the last time he tried in 2022, hundreds of thousands of Russian men fled the country within days. He cannot find enough volunteers because the word got out about conditions at the front. And so he imports North Koreans who don't even know what country they're fighting in. Carnegie Endowment analyst Michael Kaufman, one of Washington's most respected military voices, says Russia's tactics cannot produce the kind of breakthrough Putin needs. Russia is losing the manpower war, slowly but clearly. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, but Russia is still advancing. Russia is still gaining territory. And yes, while that is technically true, and Russia has gained ground in Donetsk and Zaporizhzhia, but here is the question no one is asking. At what cost? Ukraine's Commander-in-Chief, General Syrskyi, confirmed in January 2026 alone, Russia lost over 31,700 soldiers killed or severely wounded in 1 month. And how much territory did they gain? In most sectors, it's between 15 and 70 meters per day. Meters! That is slower than a person walks to work. Russia is trading 31,000 men a month for ground you could cross on foot in 5 minutes. That is not a military advance. That is a slow-motion catastrophe. Now, remember at the very start of this video, I promised you one number, a verified number, that mainstream media is not reporting properly. Here it is. 160,000. That is the number of Russian soldiers confirmed dead by name, tracked through death certificates, official obituaries and public records, verified by the BBC and Mediazona, not estimates, not projections, confirmed, verified by name. 160,000 Russian mothers got the worst news of their lives, and analysts say the true death toll could be 300,000 to 500,000. To put that in perspective, the United States lost 58,000 soldiers in Vietnam over 20 years. Russia has lost nearly 3 times that number in less than 4 years, and they are still losing over 200 soldiers every single day. The army is not collapsing tomorrow, but the foundation, it is already gone. Here at the Redline USA, we don't repeat headlines. How do we dig into the numbers mainstream media glosses over? And those numbers tell one clear story. Russia is recruiting women for assault units. Russia is importing North Korean soldiers. Russia is losing 160,000 confirmed dead. Russia is gaining 50 meters of ground per day. You do the math. Putin can raise salaries. He can threaten prison sentences. He can fly in soldiers from Pyongyang. But you cannot hide 160,000 confirmed dead. You cannot hide an army that is running out of men. History has seen this before. In Vietnam, in Afghanistan, every time a superpower tries to win a war its own soldiers don't believe in, it ends the same way. So here is my question for you today. Drop it in the comments right now. Do you think Russia's military will hit a breaking point before the end of 2026? Yes, number, or not sure? Let me know below. If this video gave you something the 6 o'clock news didn't, subscribe, share it with someone who needs to see this.
Because at the Redline USA, we are just getting started. I'll see you in the next one.